Hello friends, Ben Ochart here. Thank you so much for tuning in. One of you asked for a fish room walkthrough, and let's go ahead and do one. Let's go ahead and take a look at all the fish and what's going on here in the fish room. Let's go ahead and jump right into it. So first off, let's start with the let's start over here with the 210, and in the 210 gallon that you see behind me here, everything is going very, very smoothly, and you can see that I've redecorated a little bit. The plants that were on this side of the aquarium are gone, and so really there's only one artificial plant left in this aquarium, and that's this one here. One of the remnants from Elite Cichlids. By the way, someone pointed out that they saw some plants very similar to Elite Cichlids over at Hobby Lobby. I'm not sure if those are aquarium safe, but might be worth checking out. So the 210 is doing great, running like a well-oiled machine. The fish are looking good. Cygnus, beautiful trout, Autopharynx tetrastigma, the sand diver, Buccochromis spectabilis, Taiwan Reef, Nimbochromis venusus, tangerine tiger, beautiful fish. Kind of like the open, just the open swim area. Doesn't seem to be affecting the fish much in regards to aggression. The 55 gallon here remains a divided tank with the Vieja Zonatus. I think he got his head next to the heater. He hangs out down there in that bottom section, and I think he put his head against the heater and he got a little burn. You can see it there on the top. It's definitely not hole in the head. It's not hole in the head disease. But that heater now is unplugged because as it gets warm, I really don't need the heaters. So the sensors from the controllers are still on, but the heaters are unplugged. They're just not needed. It's warm enough. The garage keeps the temperature that keeps the tanks comfortable. OB's doing great, continuing to live in solitary confinement. This 55 is a little less populated because I moved a couple of the fish out that I'll show you in a minute. Little Dwarf Rainbows kind of have the run of the tank. A couple green tears in here from Brandon, the blind fish keeper. Some redhead Tapajos, electric blue Acaras. And there's a red spotted Severum in here. There were two of them, but I took one of them out because he was acting a little under the weather, and I put him in this little tank here. just because he was acting a little bit odd, just kind of wedging himself in one of the plants and not moving much. So I pulled him out, see if he can maybe eat a little better and fatten up a little, get a little strong, and then I'll put him back. Always want to have a spare tank ready in case you need it. Guys are hoping I feed them. Look at that gar. That gar is crazy looking. Still have some of the items out here from the Saturday live stream, the Cichlids and Coffee live stream. If you don't show up for those, you can catch them directly or watch the replays. And here in the 90, also I've removed one of the plants that was on this side. It's the plant that I talked about in that brown algae video. I talked about how one of them had black algae. So I pulled that plant out and it's being treated. You can see the rest of the tank looks great. The chocolate cichlids have adapted really well here in the 90. They didn't run into any problems. You can see their fins. They don't really show any signs of wear. Boy, look at that little female Jack Dempsey. Just a beautiful fish. There's the Nicaragua. Big giant vieja back there, acting shy. And Salvini is, here's a Salvini. Beautiful fish. One of my favorite fish, for sure. Here's the planted tank. It's called a Horizon. It's a Higer Horizon planted tank. Has a couple cherry barbs in it currently, and a mystery snail, and another snail that is some kind of a hitchhiker that just sort of showed up. Here's the betta, Mr. Mustard, who I'll probably be moving up to my bedroom. Beautiful fish. One of my favorite fish. Who knew that a betta would be one of my favorite fish? And here's what I call the community tank. Some beautiful lemons in there, lemon tetras, some rummy noses. But the rummy noses and a couple of the serpas are still there. Red serpas, little Cory cats are doing great. That little pagoda snail back there, I don't know how, but I only have one pagoda snail. And now I have a whole bunch of pagoda snails. You can see them on some of the decor if you look real close. So I don't know how one pagoda snail managed to create more pagoda snails. There's obviously something about how these snails propagate that I'm not familiar with. Love the rummy noses. I think I want to get some more rummy noses and maybe some silver tips. Just try some more different varieties of tetras in here. Plants seem to be doing okay, just like the Anubias here in the betta tank seems to be doing all right. Using a little bit of that Co-op liquid vitamins. There's some Amazon swords in here and a little bit of Anubias, kind of raggedy looking on that piece of driftwood. We cut through here, you'll see that I have a bucket, and in this bucket is a little bit of bleach and some of the aquarium plants. Every now and then I just pull them out and I bleach them. You can see all my day-to-day stuff that I use here. Let's go over and take a look at the 300. The 300 is, it's one step at a time with this tank, and I have the glass lids for it. They were brought over by Jerry Martin. Check out Jerry's Fish Room. So I have glass lids for it, and I have the vinyl tubing. You can see there the braided hose there. I'm just trying to get some measurements so I can figure out really where to put the sump. You can see here this is the way it's going to look inside. Let me put a light on here. You can see a little better what's going on. This is the sump, and this is going to be a real simple sump. It's going to have 3 4-inch wide sponges in it from Swiss Tropicals. And then it's going to have a whole bunch of Cichlids media from my friends over at Sarah. This is going to be on the inside of the tank. This is called lock line. That's the bulkhead. That's the bulkhead that goes right here. And this is the overflow box. It's a Synergy Reef overflow box, and it has what's called a bean animal. If I can get it open, I'll show you. It's got a bean animal 3-drain system, and so you have a main drain and and then a secondary drain, and then you have an emergency overflow. So that'll be coming down through these 3. So, and I have all the plumbing already cut here. It just needs to be glued together. But I first have to decide where I'm going to put the sump and how I'm going to use this vinyl hose here, this vinyl line. So the sump is going to have 2 pumps, 2 Cichlids 5.0 pumps. The water will fall into the sump and then travel through the 3 4-inch sponges, and then through the media, the Cichlids media, and then get pumped back up to the 2 corners of the tank where the bulkheads are. This is a one-way valve so that water doesn't back siphon to the sump, and this is a vinyl backing that was put on the tank by Glass Cages. So I'm waiting for the sponges. I'm waiting for the sponges from From Swiss Tropicals, I'm waiting for some hose clips. They're called snaps. These kind of things here, they're called snaps. I've ordered some of these. I'm waiting for some of those to come in, and then I'll be ordering things like substrate and items like that. So here are the doors for the front of the 300 gallon, and here there's the lids, the glass lids, wrapped up, ready to go. Still waiting for me to feed them. Love the colors of African cichlids. Especially love them when they're getting along and not trying to kill each other. This tank has been a real pleasure for me, in that when it finally settled down. I mean, it was rough going. For those of you that followed my entire evolution here in Nashville, you know at first it was rough going, and I was losing fish to aggression. But I've been moving very quickly and extracting the overly aggressive, of which these two are certainly culprits. I'm not sure how this one will do now in the 90 gallon, because he's a lot smaller than the other Vieja. I don't think it's because he's been in the 55, but if you look at the other Vieja, he's a lot smaller. Well, here's the red shoulder. Red shoulder doesn't come out much. Usually pretty shy. And the AC Hecali, the red shoulder, Nicaragua, one of the Geophagus suriminensis. They get pretty big. And anyway, look at the size of that Vieja. That Vieja is probably an inch or more, maybe 2 inches larger than the Zonatus. So I'm thinking maybe I can put that Zonatus back in here. We'll see. So that's the fish room update. I hope you enjoyed that. Let me know what you think in the comments below. And we'll expand on it, talk about it some more at the Saturday Cichlids and Coffee live stream. And be sure to ask any questions in the comments. I'll try to get to them if I can. And for those of you who'd like to support the channel, be sure to become a member of the Garage Gang, a Patreon. And the details on how to do that are in the description below. So thank you, my friends. You are appreciated, and I appreciate you coming by. That's it for now. Bye-bye.